Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Gyan Bhakti. We focus on spirituality, Vedanta, and Sanatana Dharma. Please subscribe our channel for the mystical meanings of the scriptures and daily satsang. Our humble prostrations to the all-pervading Brahman, our worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayananda Ji Maharaj, all sages and scriptures, and to the divinity in each of you. We are currently exploring the scripture Mysticism of Mahabharata. Commentary is by Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda Ji Maharaj and narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. We are currently studying the Ashrama Vasika parva. So, in the practical world, the human mind must have its concepts of love and hate. But when the mind is transcended, all the values that are created by the conditioned mind are also transcended. In other words, innately, nobody is your friend, nobody is your enemy. All are just actors on the stage of life. In a movie, we may see a hideous vampire digging his bloody teeth into the neck of a beautiful girl, and we may shiver and even shed tears. But we must remember that behind the scenes, the vampire was probably saying to the victim, "Well done, you stretched your neck most wonderfully." And the victim was replying, "And you bit my neck with superb skill." Thus, although you were shivering in your seat, they were joking and saying bravo to each other. In other words, it's all a drama, no matter how real it appears. This is a figurative way of expressing the philosophical truth that the soul within us is completely detached from all the relative realities our mind has evolved based on the karmas of our particular embodiment. The moment we exit our body, all these realities change drastically. In this present embodiment, we are a particular personality, a man, a woman, or whatever. In our last embodiment, we were a different personality. Led by karma, a century from now, if we do not attain enlightenment, we will become still another personality. Therefore, the emphasis on trying to get liberated. All these personalities exist only superficially. They do not touch the core of our own being, our very being. They are like different roles that an actor plays. But behind all of them is the one who is acting, the self who is detached, unaffected. And that is the exercise for us to find that self. Sage Vyasa's miracle also sheds new light upon normal human concepts concerning the pathetic nature of death. Because the human mind is limited, most people hold the concept that anyone who is alive is fortunate and anyone who is dead is miserable. It is due to ignorance alone that a person feels that someone who has died is alone and neglected, deprived of all the pleasures and glory that exist in the mortal world. In the divine plan, which is an expression of the immense compassion and omniscience of God, no one is ignored during life or even after death. Everyone is being taken care of in the best possible way, whether in the physical body or without it. And that was the understanding that was projected in the minds of all those assembled at the river. When they saw those loved ones at peace with themselves, they realized that all of the departed spirits had been led after death to a realm that was appropriate to their karmas and in accord with the law of their evolution. From that realm in which they had existed under an infinitely compassionate divine protection, the souls had returned for this brief reunion with the survivors who had grieved for them on the earth plane. After the night reunion had concluded, the souls departed to their different worlds as miraculously as they had appeared. The relatives then returned to the hermitage, reflecting on the amazing experience they had just enjoyed. After the visitors from Hastinapur had spent a month in the forest, Dhritarashtra called Yudhishthira before him and told him that he and his brothers and all those who had accompanied them must return to the city and resume their duties. He also emphasized that their loving presence made it harder for the elders to tread the austere path which they had chosen. When Gandhari and Kunti reaffirmed this view, Yudhishthir, with great sadness, began the preparations for return to Hastinapur. After 2 years had passed, sage Narada appeared in the royal assembly of Yudhishthira and informed him that Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, and Mother Kunti had passed away in a forest fire in which they were all burnt to ashes. This shocking news brought a wave of grief over the assembly, but Narada explained that these elders had died in a holy fashion by their own will. Knowing that their karma in this life was dragging to an end, they had gone to Haridwar near the Ganges and practiced intense austerity that had reduced their bodies to skeletons. Then one day they entered peacefully into meditation, allowing the flames of the forest fire, which had originated from his own sacrificial fire, to enfold and consume their tired bodies. At that time, Sanjay, who was still strong, escaped from the flames and lived to retell the story. Thus, consoled by Narada, Yudhishthira and the others performed extensive funeral rites for Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, and Kunti. Then they resumed their activities, living their lives with a more profound dispassion and inner peace. Hari Om Tat Sat. In tomorrow's satsang, we will start the Mausala Parva. Hari Om.